All right, a good Tuesday evening to you. I am WBAY First Alert meteorologist David Ernst here with a weather update. Looks like we are up and running on Facebook and YouTube. We sent the push alert out to the news app as well. So multiple ways to get the coverage here. This is just a general update, although we are on a First Alert weather day. We don't have any pressing severe weather threats at present, although you'll notice there on screen just to the southeast of the Dells, we do have a thunderstorm holding together, just starting to get into southern sections of Marquette County. So we will take a close look at that, take a look at the line of storms back to the west, and just do a general rundown of tonight's threats for stronger thunderstorms. It was always going to be isolated in nature, and still for the next couple of hours, we will be on the lookout for a strong to severe storm. But again, isolated and not something all of us will see, and the odds would favor areas west of the Fox cities versus anyone in the Fox Valley or towards the lakeshore. Amy Beth, good to see you on here from Manitowoc. We will be looking at a chance for some heavier rain down your way late tonight, or perhaps not even until the morning hours. Really, it is going to be the morning hours. It's just how close to sunrise are we on Wednesday morning. I will say, if you are watching this on Facebook, you can head over to my Facebook page, David Ernst, WBAY Meteorologist, and throw me a follow. And I will also recommend the QR code there at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching this on a desktop, you are able to take out your smartphone and scan that QR code there underneath my video, and that will take you to the landing page where you can download our free WBAY First Alert weather app, get a look at interactive radar. We can also stream coverage like this to the weather app. We were doing that with our severe weather outbreak a couple of weeks ago, and that is something that we will do more frequently as we get into threatening weather, although tonight things are still on the quieter side, but we'll be getting a little bit more active here in the coming hours. Jody, nice to see you on here. We will dive right in. Let me grab, I'm going to go ahead. We'll take the graphic full screen. Let me find where that is in the coverage here. We'll zoom in a little closer on the map just so you get a little better sense of where everything is. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that is out of southeastern Minnesota right now. Now we're using the Green Bay radar, so that's why it doesn't look that formidable out in that part of the state. The radar beam has a difficult time getting out that far. But we do have a stronger storm here lifting into southern parts of Marquette County right now. It is into just moving through Portage and essentially tracking out to the north. I'll go ahead and zoom out just a little bit, and we'll put this into motion just so you can get a sense of where it's headed. It's almost moving just due north, right up I-39. So that'll put it into western Marquette County here, moving in momentarily if you're in the southern part of Marquette County, and moving at a speed somewhere on the vicinity of 30 miles per hour or so. So it should be in the northern part of the county up towards the Coloma area here within the next hour. Just looking through, you may have heard my printer go off. Actually, this is a storm report, another confirmed tornado from the outbreak a couple of weeks ago. This one near Mount Horeb. The damage was just reported a few days ago, and National Weather Service just got out there to survey that. So I'll see if I can get that graphic put together. Brings the statewide count up to 24, I believe. Let me take a quick look back at my chat page here. Let's see, it was Milwaukee who did that survey. 24 for the statewide count, yeah. So it has certainly been an active spring, to say the least. We will obviously keep you abreast of any breaking weather situations. I wouldn't expect we have any tornado warnings tonight. Maybe there's an isolated severe thunderstorm warning in it. From the Green Bay radar, it'd be difficult to pick up on a hail core, but we do see some here with that storm in just moving out of Portage. And we're generally in the penny to nickel vicinity for a hail size on that. So at quarter size, which is just a quarter of an inch larger, that does step up to a severe thunderstorm. So we'll keep an eye on that cell as it's lifting into Marquette County and additional activity trailing back down into southeastern Wisconsin. That is something we'll have to keep an eye on as the evening wears on. Here's the wide view, and this will show not only the storms coming in from the south that we'll be watching here in the next hour or two in areas west of the Fox Valley, but then you'll notice the larger line back here to the west, just starting to get into western Wisconsin, and that was the severe thunderstorm down into southeastern Minnesota associated with that. That line is going to be moving in overnight tonight. It should be weakening. In fact, even right now, it's just that lone thunderstorm that has the warning on it. So, not expecting a widespread severe weather outbreak, anything like that. We'll continue our first alert weather day simply because there may be a stronger storm in the mix, or a severe storm in the mix, I should say, coming in with that activity in the southern areas. And then as the line itself gets here, we likely would just be looking at more heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, and small hail as opposed to a severe threat. But you can see as we work our way through the 9 to 10 o'clock time frame here on Predictor, you see more of that activity tracking up to the north. This runner predictor is a little bit farther north of where everything is lining up right now, but it just kind of gives you a sense of the isolated nature of those storms in the general location, in that it will be west of the Fox Valley. And then as we head into the early morning hours, the picture kind of gets a little bit muddier, if you will, as that line comes in from the west. So that's what you're seeing. Wautoma and Wausau westward is what is left over from those storms that are coming out of Minnesota. Heavy rainfall, maybe some wind gusts on the order of 35 to 45 miles per hour, but I don't think we see much of a severe threat as those storms approach. They should be weakening, and they'll be continuing to track on through the area as we work our way through Wednesday morning. Here we are 9, 10 o'clock, just starting to see that rain clearing Green Bay and the Fox Valley, and by the lunch hour, it should be easing its way out of Wisconsin, and you'll notice that skies start to clear as we head into the afternoon hours. So we, even though we're looking at some potentially heavy rainfall tonight, we will likely get into a mostly sunny sky for a time tomorrow before we watch for an additional round of showers and thunderstorms tracking into the area. So let me go ahead and show you that here on Predictor. We will pick it up. This is a, oh, actually, never mind, that was Thursday. I skipped ahead a day. Let's go back into Wednesday. Let me get back into my graphic here. So as we head through the mid-afternoon, you'll notice pretty quiet, mostly sunny for a time there. But then 5 to 7 o'clock, clouds will start to roll in, and we'll be watching for another batch of showers and a few embedded thunderstorms to push on through the area. Locally heavy rainfall possible with this. Would not expect severe weather, but is there a storm that does create some wind gusts, 35, 40, 45 miles per hour, some pea or dime size hail? Sure, that's possible. And locally heavy rainfall would also be a concern. Now, as we look toward the late evening, everything starts to wind down, and once this shifts out of the area, 11 p.m. to midnight, things should be fairly quiet thereafter. Let's go ahead quickly and take a look at high temperatures today. This is something else that is going to be changing up as we get into the rest of this week. We will be turning cooler, but a very summer-like afternoon, kind of a preview of summer. Our typical summertime high is in the lower 80s, so we were even above that with mid-80s around the area. I believe at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we had a heat index in the lower 90s for much of northeastern Wisconsin as we were hitting these peak afternoon temperatures, and we had that high humidity with dew points into the upper 60s, lower 70s. I may not have the dew point graphic pulled into this particular version of my show, just because it's been a while since we've talked about the dew point temperature. So let me go back into my other weather hits here. My face is going to disappear, and it might freeze for just a second here, but I will pull up the current dew point map just to show you where things stand right now with that. We are still in the mid-60s to around 70 degrees for a dew point, so very sticky, uncomfortable air. We will see that dew point start to diminish as we head through the day tomorrow. So it will start out feeling a little slightly humid, if you will, during the morning hours as those rain showers will be wrapping up. But then as we get into the afternoon, humidity will be dropping with the west wind gusting to 20 or 25 miles per hour. A quick reminder on that dew point, higher it gets, the muggier it is. When the dew point is above 60, you do start to feel the humidity, and as you get to around 70 and above, that's where it really starts to turn miserable and uncomfortable. So we were certainly in that territory today, but we'll be looking for some improvement tomorrow, and that lower humidity will continue then for the rest of the week. In terms of those temperatures, we're staying in the 60s for lows overnight tonight. Your highs tomorrow are still above average. Upper 70s can be expected there. Mid 70s would be normal, so 5 degrees or so above average, but certainly not as hot as it was today. And the rest of the extended is looking even cooler than that, where we will see our temperatures perhaps staying in the 60s for a couple of afternoons there. We'll be watching for some spotty rain showers coming in on Thursday. Nothing too widespread from a rain standpoint, or heavy for that matter, but just keep in mind there could be a few sprinkles out there. Temperatures will be a little cooler as we get into the weekend, seasonably cool in fact, with upper 60s to lower 70s. Friday through Sunday, it looks dry for the most part. I would not rule out a stray rain shower at some time, but by and large, that's going to be dry for most of us for most of the time. So with that, I will go ahead and start wrapping things up here in the First Alert Weather Center. I'll be sticking around, keeping an eye on the radar. If we have any warnings, we'll certainly break into programming, and we'll be talking more about these storms on Action 2 News at 10 o'clock coming up here in about 40 minutes. We'll see how long of a night this is in the Weather Center. If the storms are right at that borderline intensity level, we may end up sticking around later on. Unlikely that we would have to go into any sort of wall-to-wall coverage and cover up Kimmel or anything after that, but it might be a late night for myself, an early morning for Chief Meteorologist Steve Bailon, but we'll keep on top of it. If there are any warnings, we can stream coverage to our weather app as well as in the format that we're doing right here. So we may have that live coverage at some point if warranted. I kind of doubt it will be, but nonetheless, we'll be here just in case it is. So again, I am WBAY First Alert Meteorologist David Ernst. You can head over to my Facebook page and throw me a follow. You can ask me questions there, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. With that, I would encourage you to download our free WBAY First Alert Weather app. Hope you have a great night. I will leave you with the extended forecast and a longer look at what is to come in the days ahead. As far as the storm threat goes tonight, we do continue our First Alert Weather Day, but not expecting widespread severe weather. Maybe there's an isolated warning somewhere tonight, and we are going to see the potential for some locally heavy rainfall, but once that moves on out, then we're looking at a quiet afternoon of Wednesday with then the potential for another round of evening showers and thunderstorms. Should be non-severe there, and then some spotty rain showers on Thursday with cooler weather and lower humidity. Hope you have a great night.